Yes, brothers and sisters, lovers, haters, boys, girls and vibrations, hope everybody's well. As usual, love and light to you all. Now, I've been asked a couple of times on my Instagram, who was my hardest fight, or was the fight I had in November 2021, my hardest fight. And, no disrespect intended, but it wasn't. It simply wasn't. I've had harder fights than that, in straighteners. I've had an amateur fight, which springs to mind, which was harder than that. I've had an unlicensed fight as well, I think, what was harder than that. It will have been in the top 5, but it just simply wasn't the hardest fight I've had. The hardest fight I had was with Terry Brazier. There's no real doubt about it. Even though it was a shootout and it only lasted just over 5 minutes, it was, a brilliant fight, which I enjoyed thoroughly. But the damage that was sustained, in that fight was the most that's ever been inflicted on us. I think I had near to 30 stitches from 5 different lacerations. And the way that fight was going wasn't really going my way. For the first 2 rounds, I felt I was 2 rounds behind. And then I landed a belt and left hook, to seal the deal. When punches like that land, they kind of detach people from not only the senses, but, any training that they might or might not have had. When you get hit that hard, you're just disorientated. I mean, look, I was surprised he beat the count. Like I've said before, it was a testament to his toughness that he got back up. But he was only within a couple of punches away from being stopped. But I would love to run that fight back. And I know I don't need to, but I would like to, because they're the type of fights that I want to be involved in. They're the type of fights that I'm in bare knuckle for. Wars like that. I've only got a couple of fights left in us, probably thereabouts. So they're the type of fights that I'm looking for. If Terry, gets another win or 2, or regardless how it works out, really, for between me and Terry, going forward, I would still love to run that fight back. It'd be a brilliant fight, maybe to end my career on. But time will tell. Now, the biggest puncher I've ever been in with, wasn't the fight that I had in November 2021. There was definite power there, definite power, but it wasn't like concussive power. It wasn't the type of power to switch you off. Been in with some big punchers. Terry Brazier was a big puncher. He had strange power. The technique wasn't there in boxing terms, but he was very physically strong. And, he hit hard. He hit very hard. I remember getting caught cold in the first round with a left hook right across the chin. And my poker face was on, but, that shook me to my boots. My brain was rattled. And I was pleased when I took a step or 2 and realised that my legs were still there, because that was a good shot. But the biggest puncher that I've ever shared a ring with was in sparring is and was Mickey Hammers. Mickey Stewart, by far the biggest puncher I've ever been in with. And when we spar, it's very much like a fight. And I love to spar with Mickey because it's war. But with us being in camp, and when I'm in camps, I can't spar with Mickey too much, because, you can't spar like that all the time. It's very bad for you. There's not a doubt in my mind that Mickey has shaved years off my life. He's cost us a lot of brain cells. And I wouldn't recommend anybody to spar like that. I always come away with a headache when I've sparred with Mickey. And it doesn't matter what punch he lands on you. Doesn't matter if it's a jab or if it's any punch. He's going to buzz you, because he's got that natural power. And there's different kinds of power. There's like concussive power. There's different types of power. There's strange power, as I've mentioned. But Mickey has spiteful power. Natural power. He's a very spiteful puncher. and that comes across just in his body language. Obviously, there's the follow through and good centre of gravity, good balance, but just a massive, massive puncher is Mickey. So there we go. There's the biggest puncher, and the hardest fight was Terry Brazier. There we have it. I'm off to Newcastle to have a night with my lass. We've gone to a hotel, nice food, and we're going to watch some boxing at the D-Day show. Thank you for listening, everybody. Have a blessed weekend. Bye-bye for now.